Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another amazing episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, we have an international speaker and success coach, best-selling author, and founder of the From Me to You global movement. She's the head of the Mattson group. She's coming to us from a very, very south part of Sweden, all the way across from the Atlantic. For those here in the States, you can go visit anytime because it's really nice there. But she also spends a little bit of time in Santa Monica, California. Thrive Loud listeners, Sussi Mattsson. Sussi, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you so much for having me.
Excited to have you here. I love to kick things off and kind of give the baton to the guest and ask a very simple question, because I don't want to go all the way back to the womb and all the way to the very beginning. But I want to kind of understand how the work you're doing and how the From Me to You global movement began.
Okay, that's an interesting question, because we need to go back in time. Because when I was 8 years old, my father actually was about to sell me to strangers in a foreign country. And I found a false passport and a one-way airline ticket to take me the following day to down to southern of Europe. So I thought I was worth saving, and I had nobody who could help me out. So I ran away from home when I was 8 years old with only equally of $1 in my pocket. So that story could end in different ways, of course. In my case, it ended well. And later, like 34 years later, I found myself in a place where I was super successful in my business, but my personal life felt like really unfulfilled, like no meaning, no purpose. So I decided I needed to go back in time to revisit my past. And when I did, I found this 8-year-old little girl who was courageous and brave and ran away from home and followed through with actions. And I couldn't identify myself with her. So I decided to write her a letter, at least say thank you for saving my life.
Wow.
So that was the starting point of my interest in how writing is healing. And so I spent over 8 years of diving deep into that process of how can we write a healing letter to ourselves addressing a past trauma. And that was the starting point of the From Me to You movement, wow. Writing healing letter to ourselves and sharing our wisdom with others.
I can't let this thing go by. When you ran away at 8 years old, where did you run to?
Well, this was in a city where I only had lived for 6 months. So I didn't know my way around. I didn't know any people. And I actually, you need to read it in the book, because in my upcoming book, I don't want to give it away.
Okay, we don't want to spoil it. Okay.
It was, no, not at this time, but okay. It ended up well. And I want to say that anybody who is currently struggling is really a good advice to bet on yourself when you have nobody. So,
Sussi, when you said 34 years, you got to a place where you were stuck and you were looking for something, and you decided obviously to look for a minute and write this letter to thank somebody. For people who are always, we don't always know about the trauma that happens in our lives, and this is obviously a very traumatic event, and someone trying to sell you, and obviously fleeing and showing bravery is one part that you wanted to tap into and re-grab.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to see the signs of when that is. So, as someone who's a success coach and helping people to go back, do you have a certain process that you go through that you basically say, well, when is it applicable to start doing this? Or is writing that letter to yourself something that maybe everybody should do in a sense of gratitude and appreciation? I would just love to hear how this can be a practice and a global movement that we all can
Hmm.
use.
Yeah. So I totally believe that everybody has a story to share. And sometimes we are not consciously aware of it because we are kind of closing the door and we're not talking about it and we are keeping the secrets. But we can see in our um, creation of our decision making, in our values, in our how we are as a mother, as a father, or spouse, or whatever roles we have in our life, that it totally affects us when we have unhealed traumas. And so I believe that looking into, because many of my clients call me and they say, "Oh, I want to be super successful, and yeah, you're the woman we want to work with." And I usually say to them, "Well, you need to work with yourself first before we
Mm.
can take your business to the next level." And sometimes we have subconsciously creating those walls around our hearts because we believe they will protect us, and we also create those. If you don't mind me saying, soul sucking survival patterns. And we
Yeah.
are not aware of those because they become our normal. So when you hire a coach, you can see the patterns and you can also see that you don't get the desired results that you want to have in your life. And so I believe everybody can write the wisdom letter to oneself. And right now we have thousands and thousands of wisdom writers from all around the globe and all walks of life. So I think that the first step is actually to acknowledge
Yeah.
that I do have a story to share and I'm not afraid to address it.
Mm.
And by doing that, the the self-awareness arise, and then you get more courage to explore where where it's going to take you. And because I believe that no one can control one's life to the extent of zero pain or zero suffering.
Yeah.
So we need to equip ourselves with tools because the road ahead will give us some bumps. And so it's more matter of how can we handle those bumps in our favor, and uh, and be more, how can I put this, give us strength and courage to not give up hope. And because when we are in pain, different kind of pain, we lose hope.
Yeah.
And we became often fearfulness, and that is really, they're not good state of mind to be in. And pain is a super bad decision maker. So we need to handle um, those negative emotions around our struggling.
When you wrote the letter to yourself, maybe
Hmm.
you can give a little bit. What did it do for you immediately? Obviously, like the inspiration to to thank the letter, but what was the result after? Because obviously you didn't have to mail it anywhere. You just had to write it, um, or maybe you did mail it.
Yeah.
Tell me what the result was for you, and what happened maybe while you were doing it, and maybe soon after.
Well, back then, when I addressed it in 2013, uh, my only goal was actually to just say thank you, because I came to a point where I realized that this little girl who I was actually saved my life. So I was not aware of the huge impact and profound transformation that happened within me. Because when I put the pen to the paper, something happens when you just are honest and just give it all. And no, you're not holding anything back.
Yeah.
And so what happened was that I felt a feeling of freedom, a feeling of freedom that my pain didn't belong to me, because right now it belonged to the letter. Everything was on the letter. And so I thought, but this is a weird feeling. Why am I feeling this way? So so I started to test out to my coaching clients. You need to test this method. I'm kind of creating something here. And so when I saw all those tremendously positive and far beyond results with my coaching clients, I fine-tuned and I realized that it's kind of selfish to just keep this the four-step method to myself and to my
Mm-hmm.
coaching clients. We need to do something. And so, yeah.
This is the something you came up with. Um, I'm I'm really fascinated. Look, anytime we do introspective work, it can help
Mm-hmm.
us grow and be very, very helpful. Now, obviously, as you've hinted to with this, you have a book coming out and a lot of other marketing
Yes.
things down the road.
Yeah.
I love asking authors this question. There's one thing to write a letter to yourself, and then there's writing a book about how you can write a letter to yourself and how others can do this and take advantage of this process. But now there was something that happened. You created a gift to the world in putting together this book. Can you share with the listeners maybe what was the gift in putting the book together? Because obviously putting this out in the universe now is not only just sharing your method, but I think there might have been a gift that came back to you, almost like a happy accident.
Uh, yes. So actually, right now, what we are doing right now is that all the wisdom writers from all around the world, they're sending in their wisdom letters. So we are collecting those into a book series, and
Mm,
currently we have 29 titles. And so the book series, From Me to You book series, will serve as a piece of wisdom that could inspire and give hope and courage to other people who are currently in the same situation. And and for some people will actually also be as a survival guide. So I think that there are two gifts in this four-step wisdom letter writing method, and I think that is really important because the first gift is obviously to yourself, because you're healing yourself and you're transforming your past wounds into a piece of wisdom, and you're free of the burden of pain and suffering and so forth. But the other gift is you sharing your wisdom with others,
yeah.
and uh, and by doing so and sending in your letter, we can, I hope, really hope, that we can reconnect humanity.
Mm,
And it's important for me, the mission for me is to collectively heal. It's not that I'm healing, but we need to all heal,
yeah.
because this is just one way, of course. There is other a lot of other ways to heal past traumas, but this is a wonderful way to not be selfish in
Mm.
a selfish world, I would say. So so I believe in giving back, and so does all the thousands of wisdom writers that have sent in the letters. Um, so I hopefully cross my fingers that the book will help millions of people. And the other book is actually my own true story,
Yeah.
how I ran away from home, and the story behind how it ended, everything ended.
Well, it
So
hasn't ended. It's still going on. I just want to make that clear. She's right here with us right now. And I'm, by the way,
yeah.
I'm more piqued. I love when I pique the interest of the guests and the listeners at the same time by saying, "Well, I wonder what happened." And I'm so fascinated. So maybe when that's out, we'll have the book on and we'll have you talk more about it. Maybe we'll have you back, Susie. So I love asking inspiring people and coaches this question,
hmm
and that is, look, you have managed to survive, thrive, and build a great practice, come up with great ideas. You're helping to connect the whole world, and that's why you're here on Thrive Loud. And that, because on most days you're thriving, but we all have those
hmm
days when we're a little off our game and we're not quite kicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
On those days when you're not thriving, is there a practice you seek or an individual you seek out to get yourself back on the thriving track?
Well, I will share with you this story of me being a passenger in a serious car accident back in August 2016. I was in really bad shape and injured, and I had a severe brain injury. And I have had my company for over 2 decades, and suddenly I needed to just shut everything down because of the accident. And my brain is my product, and I couldn't work. So um, I think that I came to a point where myself and my accident actually became the ultimate case study of using my own tools, proven tools that I teach and learn to my coaching clients. So I have a couple, of course. I think the first one is acceptance. To look in the mirror and accept that right now I am in this situation. This is the facts, and not be afraid of um, digging deeper into the hard stuff. So I think that is the first step. The other one is actually to pay attention to our emotions, because our emotions are really bad advisors. Sometimes they can take us to different dark places, and because our emotions create our thoughts, and that is a second tool to use to get to have handy, to have emotional fitness. I think that is really important. The other one that I have been using during the accident, the rehabilitation, is actually trying to control the controllables, if that is an expression, because there was so much going on that was not in my space. And I wanted to take control. I wanted to have the Sussi back again. But asking myself that question in the mirror every morning, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I mean, for weeks. And suddenly I came to a point I needed to accept that the old Sussi, she's not coming back.
Yeah.
We need to create something new here. And that it could also be a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things, but
I like
but
those.
I also
I like
yeah.
those too. I just wanted to make that clear. Those are two good ones. What do you want to make clear? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think that creating your own like kind of survival kit. Do you have a special kind of music you want to hear when you are low, or do you have a special book that brings you more inspiration or hope, or do you have a special friend that you can talk to, or is it a poem that you read that can bring up some special emotions that will give you more strength? And I think creating a survival kit is really a good thing, and having handy when it doesn't mean that you have to be in a car accident. It could just be that you're experiencing depression or anxiety, or going through a divorce, or it could be any trauma, any hardship in life. Yeah.
I like it. I like it all.
Yeah.
So let's do this, because Sussi Mattsson has she's got construction sites going all over the place. Her websites and all this stuff are up and running. But we're recording this in mid-January. Share with the listeners where people can find you on social or social handles. We will put it in the show notes. We'll also put the future links so that people can find your websites and all that stuff. But share what you can today, and we will put it all out there.
Okay. There is one place where you can find everything, and that is the FromMeToYouMovement.com. FromMeToYouMovement.com. You will find the mental health app, the books, everything will be there. So that is the place to go.
Well, that was easy. See, FromMeToYouMovement.com. We've got it all. Yes. Sussi Mattsson, are you ready to go down Fun Street with me here, because you've been smiling the whole time? Listeners, go check out the video. She's got a wonderful smile. She's like very happy to be here.
Okay.
So you're ready to go down Fun Street? I know you are.
Yes, let's try. Let's try.
I'm going to start off by asking, do you have an all-time favorite movie? Maybe one that you love or love to rewatch if it happens to be on. Do you have one of those in your things that you love to do?
No.
No. Do you have a favorite book or a show that you've been watching of late? A certain maybe series?
The last lecture is a favorite book that I
Okay.
often come back to because I think that is a great reminder of making the most of it while we are here on Earth. What else did you ask?
That was the only one I
book
asked.
or
No,
okay.
that's good. We'll go with the last lecture. It's perfect. So now we're going to do a little stroll down what we call this is a stroll down Fun Street. It's kind of like a pub crawl. We call it the speakeasy pub crawl. I'm going to ask you questions.
Okay.
You're going to take a quick shot of gumption. You're going to share everything. These are things that lift you up, motivate you, make you feel good, basically make you thrive. So each one of these is there's no wrong answers because they're all your answers. You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Of late, a song that you love to listen to, or maybe one that pumps you up.
Chopin.
The
Spring Waltz.
Spring Waltz.
The Spring Waltz with Chopin. That
Love
is
it.
really a music that I often come back to.
A favorite food that's not a dessert.
Salmon.
Okay. A favorite dessert.
I don't eat dessert.
Okay. Your favorite non-alcoholic beverage. We'll do it that way. Something you love to drink that refreshes you.
Ginger tea.
Ginger tea. Okay. An activity you wish you did more of.
Tennis.
An activity you wish you did less of.
Reading.
You do a lot. You wish you did less reading. I've never heard that.
It takes a lot of time.
It does.
So.
True. A new activity that you've recently tried that you like so much you want to tell everybody else to try it.
That I recently tried. I have no answer to that. I'm sorry.
Actually, I think I have your answer. I think you should have everybody should write a letter to themselves. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay. All
That's
right.
not a bad idea.
I agree. Okay.
Okay, if I could snap my fingers and Sussi Mattsson can be anywhere in the world, where is she?
The island of Mallorca.
Oh, beautiful. You've been there, obviously?
Yes, many times.
Many times.
It's
awesome.
peaceful. It's peaceful and harmony.
Thrive Loud listeners, Sussi Mattsson, From Me to You Global Movement. Check out the wisdom writing movement, everything she's got going on. Go check out From Me to You movement.com. We've got it all out there. Thank you. And such an honor to have you on the program. Thank you for what you're doing. We look forward to all these books coming out. And I look forward to having a follow-up conversation with you to learn exactly what happened to you way back when.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you for having me.
To all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.